Hey, welcome back to the Crossroad Diecast Speed Shop. And today on the turntable, we have what we are going to use for the Four Horsemen November RV build. I had this trailer I found with a bunch of cars that were given to me, and I wanted to do something with it, but it just didn't seem like that would be enough just to do just a trailer makeover or something like that. So I decided I needed something to haul it. So I had this extra 67 Chevy pickup truck in there, and so I decided I was going to take and use that one for this build, and we're going to customize that a little bit, and we'll even get a trailer hitch on that so we can hook up the trailer to it, and it can be a good tow vehicle for it. So we're going to get this thing down off the turntable and take it apart, and we'll take a look and see what we got. All right, well, we're in the shop here, and we've gotten our RV project all taken apart and broken down. Chevy, a 55 Chevy, you can see a little scratch and stuff like that. But got the base all drilled, and the body all drilled and tapped. This gold, this is definitely going to go in this build because that doesn't have anything to do with it. Black base for the trailer, leave that. I'm going to leave that the way it is. That's a pretty good shape. But I will take and paint this base because that red base is not going to go with the project either. Gold 5 spokes, nice condition, but they're gone. Clear windshield, that's nice. That's going to be nice for this. Got this top, it's plastic, so isn't the interior. I got to figure out how to get that I guess that's all you have to do is just to do that to get the glass out of there and stuff. Because we're going to paint this, and we'll paint this up. This is kind of neat. There's a lot of stuff in there. I'm going to do some detailing up in there too. It's got the little laptop in there, and it's got a sink and burners on the stove. So I'm looking forward to doing some of that and seeing what we can come up with. Even a couple little mugs there for coffee cup. So it's coffee time, and so we're going to move on with our project. All right. Well, we're working on the hauler for our RV build, and again, it's a 67 pickup. One of the things I thought I would do with this one, I didn't want these gold 5 spokes on there. I'll put those in my collection, maybe use those on another build. But I picked some with, I got these nice black 10 spokes. They're Samad wheels, 10 spokes. And I think they're going to look nice with my paint scheme that I'm going to do. Let's just make sure that everything's clearing. Looks like plenty of clearance on this and stuff. Now we'll just put the body on and take a look at it. Move this out of the way. And snap that in pretty good. I like that click. And so just got to make sure that the wheels are inside because the axles are still a little long, but otherwise I think this is a good roller here, so this should be really good. So we're going to move on with our project. All right, well, we're back, and we'll keep working on our 67 Chevy C10. It's funny because I just realized I've been calling it the wrong thing. I've been calling it a hauler for the RV build, but actually it's a tow vehicle for the RV build. So I'll correct that now. It's a tow vehicle. Just a couple things that I've done. First, I took the gold interior, if you remember that, and I have taken and dipped it into the super clean, and it cleaned it all off. So now I'm going to paint that black, and we'll keep working on that a little bit. Another thing I did is I added these 10 spoke Samad wheels. They're really nice on the 10 millimeters on the front, 12 millimeters on the back. But what I also did, remember this was a red chassis. And so what I did was I painted it with a flat black. But I also added this, I cut off a trailer hitch off of another build that I had. I shouldn't say another build, but another car that I had in my scrap car box. And I super glued that on, and I painted that. I had to shorten it a little bit because I think it was off an M2, and it was really high. But it fits fine now. It's nice and short, and it fits fine on my thing. So we're going to get moving on here and finish our project. Coming up in the shop, we have the following build. On December 5th, we have the Diecast International Builders Station Wagon Invitational, followed on December 19th with their Holiday Invitational. Then on the 23rd, not the 31st, we have the Four Horsemen Santa Claus build. So make sure you change that on your calendars. Be sure to hit the like, subscribe buttons so you don't miss a video. Okay, we're back, and we've been working on our RV build. And what I want to do a fade. I've been wanting to try this fade idea a long time ago. It's not new with me. I have done fades on cars before, usually two colors, maybe three colors. But this time I want to try four colors. I actually saw this years back on Diecast Resurrection's channel, and I like the way he did it. And I'm thinking about doing something like that on my cars. First I painted the car and the trailer with this Wicked Colors, Wicked Metallic Charcoal. It's a kind of a silver charcoal color and stuff like that. And so I'm going to use that. I'm using that for the color of the car and the trailer. And then I'm going to use this. I'm going to do a fade on this to kind of just give it a little bit of a pep or a little bit of pop. And so when I mixed it, I'm using all these Createx Candy 2.0 colors. I've got the tequila yellow. This is the grabber orange, the blood red, and then also this marine blue is on there. So I'm trying all of those, and you can shake those up. But it's a little bit different than the normal paint stuff. Usually I do like a four parts paint, 5 parts paint to 1 part of the high gloss and stuff. But with this, what you do is this is more of a tint or dye. And so what you do is you put high gloss in first, and then you just add the dye to that. And that usually works pretty good. So usually, for me, I use about a 50-50 mix of that. I put this in first, and then I add the dye to it, so to get a good color on that. So we're going to put this car and the trailer into the spray booth and try to get it ready for it. So let's move on. Hey, well, we're back here at the Crossroad Diecast Speed Shop, and again, I've been working on my RV build. And my plan was, as you saw before, I had all the different Createx Candy 2.0, and my plan was to do kind of a fade type of thing for the vehicles. This is a chrome spoon. I like to use the chrome spoon on the candy paints and the Spectre Flame paints because it kind of shows, you can't really see because it was like a yellow, and then it went to an orange. You can see it's a red and a blue, and that's kind of what I was hoping it was going to come out like. A little bit of difference. I'll show you this stuff here. Let me back out a little bit here. Okay, you can see light's kind of reflecting on it, so it's kind of hard to see. Maybe, you can see a little bit of the yellow and the orange and the red, and then the blue back here. Yeah, I mean, it shows you a little bit better there. I think the darker, using the charcoal silver metallic, was maybe a little bit too dark, and it kind of made the colors stay a little darker than they probably would if it was just a silver underneath there. But it wasn't too bad. And again, it's my first time doing it. I've usually only done a couple different fades using a couple different colors, and this one is 4. That was taking a lot. Maybe this side maybe shows it a little bit better. You can see the yellow going into the orange and the red, and then the blue right here. But I'm still pretty happy with it. I'm pretty happy with how that came out. And the reason was because this is what I wanted to do on my truck. That's what I did. You can see the yellow fading into the orange, the red to the blue on the back. And I tried to put a little bit of blue. You get the orange on the front here, then to the red, yellow, a little bit of yellow, red, orange, red, and the blue on the top of that. I thought, it came out pretty good. I was pretty happy with how that came out. And I think once I put some clear coat on it, it's going to look really good. So anyways, I'm going to move on with the project. Okay, well, we're in the shop, and we have all the pieces ready on our RV build. Again, I took in the C10, and as you can see, it's got a little bit of a fade. You can look at it. I'm not sure if you can see it as well. You can see the different colors where it goes from yellow in the front to to the red, to the blue in the back. Got a nice, it really looks good with those coats of Diecast Graveyards 2K clear on there. It really came out really nice. Got the base all done. Oops, get my hand out of the way. Got the base, the chassis all done. Detailed up the front and the rear bumpers. I also made the little trailer hitch, which I talked about earlier. Pretty happy with how the interior of this RV came out. That the you see right here, got the binoculars on there, the stove, the range, and the sink. Did the mat with the black. Did the little computer or whatever that is there, and I also did the chrome for the refrigerator. Detailed up the taillights on this, so that came out pretty good. And I also did a similar fade as I got on the truck to this. You see, it starts with the yellow, kind of goes into the orange. Of course, the door's there, so I took out some of it. The red, and then into the blue, and the same on the other side. You can see that. And also detailed up all the running lights and stuff with some tangerine orange from Createx. That color works out pretty good when it comes to doing the amber lights on these. So we're going to put this thing together, and we'll take a look and see what we got. There are a lot of different types of RVs, from trailers to pickup box style ones, to pop-ups, to fifth wheels with a bump out. There are even motorhomes. Campers and RVs can be a lot of fun. My wife and I had an old one that was so much fun just to go to local campers. It wasn't much, but it was still fun to use. My brother has restored a couple and also has taken and upgraded them. The history of RVs is thought to date back to the 1800s by gypsy caravans. Then around 1910, the Pierce Aero Touring Landau was debuted at the Madison Square Garden. During the Great Depression, people often couldn't keep their homes and cars, so the camper was an alternative way to make a living. The Volo Auto Museum has a lot of different items that go along with that. They're really great to look at some of the earlier campers. Let's take a look at a build. And here's my custom 67 C10 pickup and matching Matchbox camper for my 4 Horsemen RV build. For a first try, I'm pretty happy with the fade, and the corrugated sides on the camper and the windows kind of take away a little bit from it, but I'm happy it kind of matches up pretty well. And I want to thank our guest horseman Godzukidan for taking part, and I'm looking forward to seeing his build and everyone else's builds. And speaking of that, the 4 Horsemen Diecast team wants to invite you to take part in our builds. You know, all you have to do is pick a casting, follow each build theme, and at the end of the month, on the last day of the month, send us a glamour shot on a white background of your build that goes along with the theme, and send it to 4horsemendiecast@gmail.com, and we will include it in a recap video later the next month. And here's a list of some of next year's build. I'm really glad to see all the new ones that are coming out there. And again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope maybe you learned some new things. Again, as always, God bless, and thanks for stopping by the shop.